The whole world is collapsing.
Holy shit. You know, when I think about like pivotal moments in the podcast history,
Right.
a lot of them have been around like pretty big moments in the last 8 years of us doing this.
Yep.
So what happened was earlier this week, the Bank of Japan, so keep in mind the Nikkei index, which is their Dow Jones,
Right.
3 weeks ago hit an all-time high. The Federal Reserve equivalent in Europe cut interest rates. England cut interest rates. Canada cut interest rates. The Bank of Japan, they raised interest rates. Spooked the Japanese market, where the market went down like 10% in like 48 hours. Thursday and Friday, it spooked the American market because there's so much trading that's happening in finance and dollars moving between the yen and all these other currencies.
Yeah.
We also had kind of somewhat soft news on the economy. The unemployment has now gone from 3.8% to 4.3%.
Yep.
And that 0.5% shift is, according to this guy, Sam, he has a Sam rule, is his indication for a recession.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
We're back. Are we live?
We are live.
We are back.
All three.
All three,
People missed us.
they did. It was funny, like, I was gone this week, but the little I was out yesterday, I randomly ran into people. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
I mean, I'm going to be honest. Like, we obviously shouldn't do it often, but it made me feel very appreciated.
Yeah.
No, I think the number of people that actually care about the podcast is actually kind of cool.
Right. And it's cool because we're like part of their routine.
Yeah, I think that's the main anger part was you ruined my drive.
Yeah. Like,
you
what the
ruined
fuck?
my workout.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're back. Do we want to talk about, there was just some personal things?
I was gone. I had to travel for
He
work.
was traveling on and
Yeah, I was obviously dealing with a situation that I kind of touched on.
Right.
I feel like a couple
Yeah,
podcasts
you don't have to
ago.
go into it, but I just didn't know if you wanted to.
No,
There's some
I'm
stuff
fine.
with
I'm very
Mav.
open book.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were in the hospital for like 11, 12 days, something like that.
Right.
And what was really cool was I was taking a break, got some fresh air.
Right.
A couple pulled over by the In-N-Out in Westwood and was like, "We're huge fans of the pod. I hope
Yeah.
Mav's doing well."
That's
It
nice.
feels so good, doesn't it? When people do that,
Yeah.
you know, like if
And
you
they
just
even
feel,
knew.
Yeah.
They knew because of like whatever
And
podcast we've done.
UCLA, you're probably right near
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. So that's what's
great.
going on. Mav's doing well.
Yeah. He's home. He's happy.
Great.
He got a new hot haircut.
Nice.
close to
To
it.
celebrate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's
great.
great. And D's back for 2 more hours.
Literally.
Right.
Actually, I have tomorrow night free. I do not have any plans
Where are you going?
in Bentonville. If any Cathys are out
There
there.
might be a Kathy or two out there. Right.
I literally, because of the flight times, I don't have anything to do till Tuesday midday. So normally I would take a red eye,
Right.
but there's no nonstop red eye. So it was too risky to miss my meeting.
Right.
So I'm leaving in the morning. I get there in the afternoon, go for a run, do some work.
Yeah.
And if any Cathys live in Bentonville,
I'm sure there's some close at least, right?
yeah, like a Fayetteville Cathy.
Right. Plus,
I'm
I would
sure.
imagine if you're
I
living
said
out there,
Bentonville, like they make money.
Well, yeah, you live in Walmart.
Yeah.
they have a
work at
cool
Walmart.
little
Yeah, they have a whole community.
thing. Yeah. Walmart built community. Okay. So we're back for the time being.
Yes.
There won't be that big of all 3 of us gone.
Yeah.
I have one more thing to say.
Yes.
I think doctors in America are massively underpaid because I had to
Right.
experience kind of like the last 2 weeks of like dealing with a very critical situation.
Yeah.
And I generally know what they make,
Yep.
but they're saving lives.
I know. And it's so hectic.
It is. It's
Like
chaos.
the on-call thing.
I
And
mean, I would say, just broadly speaking, medical professionals, doctors, nurses,
Oh, the nurses,
paramedics,
freaking
paramedics. I would
Right.
even go firemen, police, like
it's gnarly.
teachers, like the civic part of our society
Yeah.
is severely underpaid because then you have like, think about it like this. We're telling everyone and listen to this pod, go become a plumber, be HVAC repair. Why? Those are such essential
Right.
people
Right.
that they make so much money now.
Right.
But the doctors and the more, all these other professions,
Yeah.
their salaries are not going at the same pace as
No, they're not. And we were in the ICU, which is as critical as it gets.
Yeah.
And there's tens of doctors coming in every like kind of couple hours.
It's
Yeah.
wild.
And I know how much, I generally know how much they make,
Right.
and it's not enough.
I also want to say, I feel like because of the way the healthcare system is, they're
Yeah, it's
also
broken.
underappreciated.
Yeah.
It's not their fault, but like that process,
And insurance is a scam.
right? And so that can be such a miserable process that I feel like they get treated like DMV workers.
Yeah.
Like everyone's just pissed dealing with them.
Yeah.
And so I would say underpaid.
And
and
what's
under.
crazy, it's the same exact doctors every morning, 6 a.m. they
Right.
show up.
Right.
Every night, 10 p.m. they show up, and they're there 12, 13, 14 hours.
Well, those doctors and, nurses
it's just passion, I guess,
Yeah, it's all
at this
passion.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
It's,
I mean, it has to be pretty rewarding, but there must be pretty insanely
I don't know
brutal
if it's
parts.
like, I would go, like for Indians, I don't know if it's passion.
Right.
The Indians
That's
are
family
forced.
expectations.
So it's actually interesting.
Maybe for whites, it's passion.
For the
So
whites,
like
yeah.
the attendings. So this is I learned too much about this, but so you have residents, you have fellows, and you have attending doctors.
Mm-hmm.
All the residents are Indian.
Right.
All the attendings are white.
Right.
Okay, and what's the difference?
The attendings are the most senior.
Okay.
But I bet you just like CEOs, that'll change.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
time.
they're gonna climb their way up.
Yeah.
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 The meritocracy of it all is gonna pan out. I feel like that.
But like an Indian doc would show up like literally every couple hours.
Right.
Um,
I just feel like the study culture of Indians is going to outpace the whites. Give it another decade.
Yeah, I haven't shared where I was, but I was in Ibiza and Barcelona.
Ibiza.
And
Where'd you stay?
at a hotel.
Okay.
Couldn't believe how many Indians there were. Unbelievable.
On vacay?
Yes, they have now found these places.
You know what's funny is
Your people are Indian.
Thriving. Your
So-
people, yeah.
No, so
You're on
like
top of the
Fobs,
world, yeah.
not like people from America. These are people from India.
In Ibiza?
in Ibiza.
So what's funny is Zach White's been very public on his Instagram of his travels.
Yeah, all
I'm
over
sure you
Europe,
guys
yeah.
have seen. And he sent me a video, and he's like, "You wouldn't believe who's at like the hottest club in Saint Tropez waving the flag. It was an Indian flag."
Really?
He sent me the Indian flag.
Yeah, the Indians are really seeping out into like beach. Indians aren't like people you see at the beach.
Right. Now
You
they
think
are.
they're a little more fit?
These Indians were not. They were
Okay.
all pretty overweight. Not
So
good
not
looking,
shirtless?
overweight. Not like the Bollywood looking Indians. These are just like.
I wonder why you would choose Ibiza if you're,
I think the music. I think
the house music?
yes. I
Oh.
think it's literally house music because like. So I'll give you I was only there for 2 nights, my first time going, and my first, I've been to all the other beachy parts of Europe, the
Right.
party parts of Europe. I'd never been, mainly because I just do not have any interest in being at a club at 6 a.m.
Right.
It's an interesting place. I given like inflation in America,
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's better to go to Ibiza
Yep.
than go to Coachella.
Right. Are you saying that you could do it for a similar price?
Yes, I think it's the same price. Like I think you can do a few nights or even a week there, like stay in a pretty reasonably priced place.
Right.
If you're not buying tables and all that crap at the club,
Is it enjoyable, like with no connections? Like,
I wouldn't know because the people I were with
Right.
literally had. We were sitting at their villa and like they had like, here are the wristbands for every club in
Right.
wherever,
So-
VIP, table here,
Right.
driver waiting outside, 2 security guards to take you to the bathroom.
Yep.
Like they,
I would say
I just wonder if it's a fun.
it is,
No.
it is.
Or do you go
I'll
to
tell you-
Cabo?
I've been.
Or do you go to Cancun?
So I would say like I went like kind of connected as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very like not a normal experience.
Right.
I would think that
If you're
outskirts-
25 though, I think it's
I
easy.
think Mallorca is like a hot spot. There's like you got to go to this secondary and tertiary
no, but
cities.
the music. So if you're into music,
But where do you hear the music?
like
You
for
stand
example,
outside of
like
the club?
For 48 hours?
Exactly. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
the
like-
tables are like 15, 20K.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Like I went to Circo Loco, like the big party at this club called DC10. There's no tables. Everyone is in Gen Pop.
Oh, they don't exist.
They do not exist.
Right. But how hard is it to get in, I wonder?
It's you should buy a ticket.
Oh.
Anyone can get in.
What, $50?
I don't know what the ticket was, but like we went and I was like, whoa.
Price of
Right, it's $5,000.
Yeah. But it's like you named it DJ, they're performing.
Right.
And it's
I
I
would
ran into so many random people from like LA and New York.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
like
everyone was posting from Ibiza the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You say it
It's
right,
Ibiza.
please.
What's that?
Say it right.
Ibiza.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Jeez. Act like you've been there before. Yeah, that's an interesting take.
Yes. I
beat that instead
I
of
would even
Coachella.
argue like, you know, I've been this year I've gone to Europe more than I've ever gone before in my life. And when you compare eating out hotels in LA, New York, Miami,
Yeah.
it is so much cheaper to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the nicest places
Yeah.
than it is to have that in LA and New York.
Yeah.
And then like even just like if you want to go shopping, like between like the currency and then the VAT and the difference in prices and stuff like that, like everything I bought something for the kids, I bought something for my wife. You get 30%, it's like 20% cheaper because it's made in Europe, 15% more with the VAT. So you're basically saving 30%
Right.
plus food and drink. Like you don't have to, if you
But
give a little tip, they're like thrilled.
I
Yeah,
will say
yeah.
for the younger crowd, if you don't have kids, because school obviously is a different issue.
Right.
September.
September is the move
Yeah.
For Ibiza?
for everywhere.
In Europe.
Yeah, because the global warming, everything's still hot,
Right.
everything's still beachy,
Right.
and all the kids are gone. And like July and August are the most expensive times of
Yeah.
the year, but September it falls off a cliff. So like, I think it's like 30-40% cheaper for
Yeah.
every hotel.
Like my flight from Ibiza to Barcelona, guess how much it was? Flight,
$200.
no, it's probably $1,000.
$35 on Ryanair. $35.
How
And
is
then I
that
had a
even-
bag. I had to check in the bag.
How is that even sustainable?
So my entire ticket was $43.
what?
$43. And I
And
think we flew business class.
So you
is
just had
that
the
even-
empty seat.
Empty seats.
That's a European business.
Yeah, right.
There's no business.
Was the plane full?
Slammed.
But at that price, you would have.
I mean, I'm telling you, like,
how if you fill a 747 with $43 tickets, the math doesn't.
it's a 45-minute flight. I don't know. It's like Southwest, what Southwest used to be.
Right.
It's a real compelling.
September's the move if you are a young person that
Yeah.
doesn't have a family or
Yeah.
you don't have kids. Even if you're married, you
Right.
don't have kids,
Right.
go there.
Okay. Well, you better go there quick because the whole world is collapsing.
Holy shit. You know, when I think about like pivotal moments in the podcast history,
Right.
a lot of them have been around like pretty big moments in the last 8 years of us doing this.
Yep.
You know, whether it's COVID, whether it's a stock market crash,
Elections.
you know, something, election, things like of that nature.
Yeah.
What's happened in the last, call it 5 days,
Yep.
could be topping one of the all-time tectonic shifts in our world.
So what is happening?
So what happened was earlier this week, the Bank of Japan. So keep in mind the Nikkei index, which is their Dow Jones,
Right.
3 weeks ago hit an all-time high.
Okay.
So just to give context, the Federal Reserve equivalent in Europe cut interest rates, England cut interest rates, Canada cut interest rates. The Bank of Japan, and you know, I always thought Japanese people were smart and they're disciplined and
Until
organized.
now.
They're complete idiots.
Right.
They raised interest rates
Like just recently.
like 5 days ago, a week ago.
Okay.
Raised interest rates, spooked the Japanese market, where the market went down like 10% in like 48 hours.
I think it's down 11% today right now.
Yeah, and on Thursday and Friday, it spooked the American market because there's so much trading that's happening and finance and dollars moving between the yen and all these other currencies.
Yeah.
Spooked the American investors. There's some carry trade. I don't really quite understand how to explain it, but you can read about it. It's what caused a lot of this issue. And it caused like liquidation in the American market Thursday. And then we also had kind of somewhat soft news on the economy. So you saw that Amazon missed on some of their revenue and then soft guidance on the American consumer.
Yeah.
Starbucks, McDonald's, everyone is reporting
Apple.
softness. Apple.
Yeah.
And then
Shockingly, DoorDash popped. So people are just ordering.
a lot of good coupons right now. I got $10
Yeah.
off John and Vinny's yesterday.
So like all like
On DoorDash?
Dude, they literally say if you spend $50, you get $10 off.
All the
and
big-
it's all inflated pricing to
but-
begin with.
Right.
not to interrupt your point, but yeah, all like the big companies missed. I think
And then the biggest was the unemployment
Yeah.
has now gone from 3.8% to 4.3%.
Yeah.
And that 0.5% shift is, according to this guy, Sam, he has a Sam rule, is his indication for a recession. When it, that if it, that 0.5% jump in the unemployment
Yeah.
is, apparently has always indicated that there's a recession. So you had the Japanese, you have the recession, and then I don't know if you've been following, people have been following, it's an insane story of the Hamas leader that was killed
Yeah.
this past week in his hotel room. They planted a bomb 2
Yeah.
months earlier.
Crazy.
They detonated when they found out he was there. That's going to be an incredible movie one
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
And then they've now taken out some more Hamas leaders in the last 48 hours. Now we have sent Marines to the Middle East.
I think 12 ships have been sent.
4,000 Marines. And Iran has said I don't even understand how this works. Iran has indicated there will be attacking in the next 24 to 48 hours Israel.
Why do you indicate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like respect.
I think it's all like a political. Remember when they said like we're launching missiles? They will be coming at noon. like gave them plenty of warning to shoot them down.
Yeah,
But it
yeah.
was like a ceremonial strike. I
Yeah.
feel like that has to be kind of how these war games work. I don't know, but
I think the markets obviously crypto crashed.
Crypto.
yeah,
is-
why the fuck?
But
Because
it's
it's
just
just
risk off.
liquidation.
Yeah,
Right.
it's just risk off.
But here's the biggest thing. That I think also, you add all this, you find out today, Warren Buffett cut his Apple stick
In his stock in half.
in half.
Yeah.
He has $280 billion in cash. And we've talked about this. Jensen Wang's been selling his dick off for the last 3 months.
Yeah.
Bezos has been selling his dick off. So has Zuck.
Bezos is they're all on water.
Yeah. Because they sold it all.
They're very liquid.
They don't care. And then when you think about like what's happening, you have this last week, a pretty significant move in tech stocks and then the overall market. Crude oil was down like $10 in a week.
Right.
Like you saw all these things. And then the smartest people in the room have cash. Warren Buffett has $277 billion of cash.
That's so.
What are you going to do, big guy?
I know.
You know what he's going to do? Right now, you saw Bitcoin. Ethereum is down for the year officially. Then you
Ethereum's
have-
down 20%, 24 hours.
And
Really?
then
Yeah.
Nvidia is under $100 in
He'll
pre-trading.
just start buying.
What? He's going to start buying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buffett always
Apple-
does this.
Apple is down to $204. I think it's down $15, like 7-8%
Yeah.
for a few $1 trillion company. So
I mean, this is not investment advice because we have to caveat all this stuff.
Yeah.
If you don't buy Bitcoin and Ethereum, it's kind of silly if you have liquidity.
well, here's the only thing. I would argue if you're playing,
Long
that's a
game.
riskier bet.
Long game.
Yeah, I think if you want to
Like-
play a safer bet, go buy Apple.
Sure. But like Ethereum's at like $2,200 or something right
Yeah.
now. It'll be 3,500 in like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. That's your prediction?
You think that quick?
No chance.
3 weeks? 4
No.
weeks?
I
The
think
only
3 or
way
4
that
months.
happens is if there's an emergency Federal Reserve meeting and they have to cut interest rates. But there's nothing structurally wrong in our economy that's going to cause them to do that. Because if that's
This
the
is what
case,
they
we've been
wanted.
lied to
So,
the entire time that there's no recession.
This is
So-
what they wanted.
Bill Ackman actually tweeted this, and it kind of serves to my point how the Fed is so incompetent
Yeah.
that they raised rates too quickly.
Yeah.
And they were too slow to cut rates.
Yeah.
And
I
they
think we
created
know
this
that now.
entire chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't you think this is exactly what they wanted? Like when Jay Powell is sitting alone in his office, don't you think that this is what he has to start to see before he cuts?
Yeah. He wanted the
It
chaos.
might be too late, but I think these are the indicators that he's needed
Because,
to
by
see.
the way, ultimately, we've said this before. What does Jay Powell want to see?
Blood and guts.
Pain.
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 Yeah.
He won.
Tomorrow's pain.
This week is pain,
Yeah.
right? Like the
This is-
buyers
yeah.
will come. The great companies are going to be fine. The Bitcoins will be fine. Like it's just how much pain do we have to watch? Does Bitcoin have to go to 40,000 before it
It
bounces?
doesn't even matter, right? Because it was 16K a year ago.
Yeah, but that's not the point. You're defending Bitcoin, but all of these assets then should be cut in half. Apple should be, Nvidia should go back to $40 where it belongs. Like all of those things should have to happen then to get to a point.
I think a lot of smart investors will buy the fear.
But do you think the fear is just started? Like to me, this feels like it could be the beginning of a tough month.
So it's two factors, right? Data coming out, economy soft. Then the Fed and the government are just going to step in.
Right. But that won't be until next month.
So my point is like you can buy the fear now,
Right.
Because the government's just going to step
Right,
in.
eventually.
And
Yeah,
it's
you're never going
election
to time
year.
it
Yeah.
perfect.
And the incumbent administration does not want to go into November with 5.5% unemployment rate and the market flat for the year.
Right.
Which if you don't do anything in a week, you could be flat for the year.
I generally
You drop 500 points a day.
do
Yeah.
believe the economy's soft.
It's 100% structurally in a recession, not by the government data standards.
You guys both run businesses. Do you see it?
Yes, 100% I see it. Especially in exactly what we do. We literally deal with retailers. The amount of people that are like whispering to us about bankruptcies coming is fucking insane.
Right. I see it, but on a lesser level. But yeah, I see a lot. I hear a lot from big retailers. Foot traffic is down. Everyone's down.
Back to school shopping is supposed to be down 7-8% this year.
Right.
That's like Christmas.
Right.
That means some kid is not getting something this year.
A lot, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're not getting a new backpack. You're not getting the new sneakers. And we've seen it with a lot of these large brands, the Nikes, the Lulus, the Adidas, they're all soft.
Right.
There are brands that are doing okay. And like even Crocs came out and said they're doing well. But then, hey, dude, everyone's favorite shoe, falling apart. The business is falling apart. It's down
what's Hey
double
Dude?
digits.
Hey, dude's a brand.
We talked about it on the pod.
Was I here?
Maybe they got bought for over $1 billion.
Oh, yeah, we did. Oh, yeah,
it's like
we did.
a
We did.
$60 slip on. That's like
It's so weird that I've never seen this in real life.
because you don't.
This is like a Kohl's thing or?
No, it's everywhere. Kathy's DM drama. How many pairs
I remember
your
this.
uncle or dad has of Hey
I
Dude?
remember this. This is why. Okay.
But I think the bigger challenge here is we're going to see what Japan is going to do. I think whatever happens in Iran and Israel is obviously a huge impact on oil and shipping and freight costs and stuff like that. And then we have, this slowing economy. The problem with these huge volatility moments is they start becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right.
Where if you wake up tomorrow again and your phone alert from the Wall Street Journal or Time Magazine or whatever the fuck you consume spreads fear,
Yeah.
then what happens? You know what? You're like, you know what, honey? Let's skip that trip this weekend.
Yeah.
Let's not buy that TV. Let's
Well,
not.
let's
but do
sell
you
our
think that-
Nvidia stock and our Bitcoin and our, I know that that's not the biggest portion of the holdings, but I just think it chain reacts. to everything.
Exactly. It just literally becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because
Right.
what happens is Thursday, Friday's volatility, scariness. I think people were like spooked, but like I don't think average Joe was liquidating anything, right? Like you're not liquidating anything in your 401k.
It was too quick.
Today, after a weekend of scary shit, you're calling your advisor. Every advisor tomorrow is getting called and saying,
Yeah.
Bob, what are we doing here?
What the fuck?
And you have to make a move as a wealth advisor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Your response, you can be, just sit tight. I know you're going to get rocked the next week.
Yeah.
No, you're like, let's go to cash. if you want to play it safe, let's move the cash. Let's buy bonds.
Especially like, man, I just feel like after like a summer, we're coming to the end of summer, which is like a lot of people probably traveled.
Yeah.
Now you have to do your back to school shopping.
You're at Myrtle Beach. Your 401k's down 8%.
Crashing.
You're fucking selling everything.
So I'll tell you like a personal story. So I help our mom and at the time our dad to manage their wealth.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in 2020 when everything was crashing in March or April.
Yep.
And I literally got in a shouting match with the wealth advisors.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
I've talked about this on the pod.
Right.
And I was like, you guys are insane. Get into cash and stop.
What they want to do.
They said, don't fight the Fed. The economy is going to bounce back.
Right.
And they were right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what everybody's doing tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow everyone's calling their advisor. So,
and I was so
think
wrong.
about how much more savvy you are than Bob in Myrtle Beach.
But it's
and Bob's going to be like,
it's always it's
Give
the
me the
obvious
cash.
trade. So to me,
there's like a vivid memory of me walking out of the apartment building screaming, like, what are you guys doing?
yeah.
And they were totally right. They were like, don't fight the Fed.
Yeah.
yeah, they know, and so we know the Federal Reserve in a month, I think in 40 days, has a meeting.
40.
You just have to, because August they take off.
for 40.
No, they could do an emergency meeting if they wanted to.
That's a scary thing.
But I don't think they're
that
panicking.
sends the wrong message.
I think they're like, okay, this is starting to look like maybe some cuts.
Like we need people to so I obviously follow home prices in my neighborhood very closely. Like insanely closely. Like I know how much every house is selling for and if it's getting reduced and how long it's been on the market. And one, there's been a pretty large uptick in homes being sold. It feels like it's boomers that have been in the neighborhood 30 years that are just like retiring, moving somewhere else, whatever. Yeah.
Right.
Like, cause the homes that are going on the market are quite old.
Right.
And then there's one house that's new. And so I asked I walk into all the open houses. I was like, oh, what's the guy? Why are they selling this? They just remodeled this fucking house.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, entertainment industry got booked on a film somewhere far away and not going to move back to California when it's done.
Oh.
Like they're gone for a year and they're moving to another state. So those are like my anecdotal things. I would say that of the 7 houses within the 3-4 streets in my neighborhood that are on sale, 2 have been reduced by 10%. The others have not been reduced, but only one of them is like severely overpriced.
Right.
They're actually like reasonably priced. If interest rates were lower, they would have been sold already.
Right.
And I'm curious to see, because to me, stock market is one thing, home price is another thing.
Yeah.
Home affects everyone in the world because it affects rents, it affects.
But isn't that old? Isn't it already horrendous?
So it's horrendous in the sense that there's the quantity of homes being sold is down, listings are up, but prices are not being reduced at the rate.
Right.
Like, so if you look at markets like Austin and really outskirts of Florida and outskirts of Arizona and Texas, you see those like 10% corrections happening.
Yeah.
But in Los Angeles, you're not seeing like homes being distressed sold.
I think what's happened in the home market is the COVID boom's over. So like Austin prices have crashed.
Right.
Florida prices have crashed.
Yeah,
It's just interest rates, isn't it? I mean, isn't interest rates? It just makes it unaffordable.
And it's just the listings are up.
Right.
Meaning like they're unsold homes.
Yeah, but like,
But I'm saying that combination, like I think to your point, and then on top of that, it's just insane what your mortgage payment is now for a house that used to be in your price range.
Yeah, it's probably double what it was 5 years ago.
Right.
Regardless of what your home is.
Right.
So,
because I thought there was like articles and stuff about how one of like Gen Z's biggest issues when voting is the fact that they don't think they'll ever be able to buy a house. Like that was one of their biggest concerns.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, like on the top of
I
their
didn't see
mind.
that, yeah.
I think that's.
So
I think that was a thing like a month ago. Was that was like the number one worry on the Gen Z mind.
yeah, I think they're no matter what, this concept of home ownership in America, it's like ownership of guns. It's very important.
right.
Like people want to have guns and people want to own homes.
They want to have a house full of guns.
Yeah. You want to own your home? You want to own your guns.
Yeah.
That's basically what you want to do.
Yeah.
Just more updated news. So the Japanese stock market, the largest 2-day drop in history, larger than the Black Monday crash of 1987.
Damn.
South Korea has halted all sell orders as their market crashed. And then the funniest meme post I just read, White House spokesmen say they're monitoring the global stock market collapse and outbreak of global war and advise Americans to get vaccinated for COVID.
Right.
I would say
nuts.
like this week is going to be very interesting. And like you could see something where the morning market collapses.
Yeah.
By afternoon, fucking ripping. Like it can happen that fast.
Yeah. I just looked through
Yeah.
Twitter. I think the fear is in.
Yeah.
Years in. Yeah.
The fear, I saw it, kind of like 4 or 5 p.m. today, but now it's pretty drastic. And we know we've been through this.
Yeah.
As, American citizens.
Yeah.
They step in.
Yeah.
And they
It's
just
just when
stop
they
the
step in.
bleeding. It's just when.
When?
Yeah.
See, here's the thing.
Yeah.
They had a meeting 10 days ago.
Yeah.
Right? So they look like idiots and they didn't do anything then.
I've always said they're idiots.
Okay, so they're not going to, for ego reasons, they're not stepping in this week. So how much pain can we take this week?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Like Warren Buffett, what is he doing?
I think Warren Buffett exiting
Yeah.
caused like at least 2% of
Warren
this
Buffett
crash.
is licking his lips
Yeah.
like I'm about to get.
He's having a Dr. Pepper.
Oh,
It's so
yeah,
funny.
exactly.
He's
Like-
just like, all right, I get a 50% discount on
Yeah.
everything
You know
I
what's
like.
I'm about
crazy?
to go on a
You know what's
buying
crazy about
spree.
Buffett is he's in his 90s.
Yeah.
He's already pledged to give all his money away.
Yeah.
So this is a scoreboard.
He just loves the game.
But not to Bill and Melinda.
I don't know.
He rescinded.
He rescinded that?
I think he's
because of the
rescinding.
Epstein stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, there's a tell-all book
Coming?
about Bill Gates
Out or coming?
coming.
I'm reading it.
And
I'll give you the whole
there
rundown.
is some spicy stuff.
Who's
That-
behind it?
I don't know. I just read the clips and it basically said something to the effect of around it's about Bill and women. Was one part of the book, and like you couldn't leave him around an intern.
Oh, yes. I saw that tweet.
Wow.
That he was like kind of really
Kid in a
handsy.
candy store. That's what they said.
Yeah. He's
Creepy
really
Bill.
handsy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look it up. Interns from being alone. Oh, yeah. Microsoft banned interns from being alone with flirty Bill Gates. Damn. Okay.
So look, I think we're in for a very blockbuster week. There are also more earnings coming out. There's a lot of big financial kind of indicators getting released.
Let me ask you this. Not financial advice, but I think a lot of people listen to us.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys doing with your stock portfolio?
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like, I'm not an investor type generally,
Right.
but my view is I look at something like an Ethereum
Mhm.
that it's down for the year.
Mhm.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah. As a opportunity.
Considering everything has ripped this year.
Yeah.
And Ethereum is down.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a very interesting buy to me.
Yeah.
I think when I look at Nvidia is still up 100% this year.
Yeah.
And
Not as interesting.
I don't think.
But maybe Apple.
Yeah, like even Apple though, like pre the earnings or pre the new phone announcement, Apple was trading at like 190. You could have bought 190 a month ago, and the shit just went berserk.
I will.
Everything is overinflated, and
Yeah.
I think
I think
you should
everything's
start looking. I wouldn't pull the trigger yet. There's no reason. Here's the thing.
But do you go?
Here's what I would say. When did the market start ripping? April or May of 2020? May, right?
April.
April of 2020.
Right. March crashed. April ripped.
You could have bought in June. You could have bought in July.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you
would've
could have
been
bought
fine.
anywhere. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
It's
you
not
don't
about getting
need
it
to
perfect,
be
yeah.
precise. What you could do is you don't need to get that first bump, but wait. There's no reason. Like, and by the way, you should be adding the S&P 500 on these dips, not trying to figure out. We have no idea what stock is going to rebound.
Right.
We have fucking no idea. Like, we don't know what the economy looks like. Do you want to own Amazon that's consumer facing? Yeah, maybe. I think in 2 years it's fine. Is it good for the next year?
Right. But let me ask you this. What if you remember the group chat protocol?
Yeah.
One of it is index funds. So if you're in the S&P and you tomorrow are going to have a rough day,
Yeah.
do you stick it out?
I think you stick it out, and then if you're buying like on a monthly or weekly or annual basis,
Yeah.
great time to add.
Right.
Thursday was a disaster. Friday was a disaster.
But I will say, like, the only thing that's actually helpful for investing is just to have weekly buys.
Right.
And whether it's
But this is a
$50,
week that
$100.
I would increase.
Yeah, you might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
But I-
Ethereum's a no-brainer. Sorry, not financial advice.
Right, right.
At $2,200
Right.
or whatever it is right now.
Yep.
And even Bitcoin at 53K or whatever it's at.
I think too, I think one of the biggest things here is these are the moments where history has taught us you have to have thick skin.
Yes.
Like you
have to
gotta
have
kind
balls.
of, like you gotta.
I mean, I've been through 4 crypto cycles where 90% drawdowns.
Yeah.
And I didn't waver.
Yeah, you gotta just grit your teeth and get through.
You can't think about it.
Right.
As long as you can pay for dinner and pay your rent.
Just don't open your Robinhood this week.
Everyone's opening the Robinhood.
No,
Robinhood's
no.
having a record day. They love it.
Delete the app for the week.
And the scary part was, and I think I put this in our topics. I think this was the scariest thing of all the news I read. On Friday, total options trading volume hit 73 million contracts, the highest level in histories. The number of option contracts traded over the last few years has more than doubled. What this means is the gambling has exploded.
Yeah, the zero date options.
Yes. And so
NVIDIA had 308 million shares traded on Friday.
of NVIDIA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is crazy. So what that tells me also is we know hedge funds have always been the option market. And let's say they represent 75% of that.
Yep.
25% are just Robinhood idiots like us
Right.
that like tomorrow, if NVIDIA's by like crashes at $80 or something, I might buy some 0-day options on
Right,
it
right.
and see if it bounces by the afternoon. It could be fun. But you just start thinking about it. Let's say we all tomorrow decided to spend $1,000 betting,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Times that by 100 million people.
Yeah. It's
'cause
so absurd. People just love gambling, man. It's just in our DNA.
You're talking $1 trillion could be bet
No,
tomorrow.
everyone wants to get rich quick.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow's the greatest day to try to get rich quick.
The market will open down pretty terribly, if I had to guess.
Right.
And
As long as the news doesn't get like the war shit, like we gotta like skate a couple things.
I think the Fed's going to step in this week.
I mean, you would think the Democrats and the,
gonna pressure
Democrat
him.
run media will try to, I mean, this is bad for Kamala.
Yeah. Oh, my mom wanted to correct you.
Kamala.
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 She was
sorry.
very mad.
I just did a
She
Akshay. I just did
brought up to
Akshay
me-
Bhatia.
she brought-
Kamala. Did you see the Trump clip where like, now she's black?
Yeah.
She was Indian. Now she's black.
Unbelievable content. It is it's so good.
But for them, this is bad. You know, I know she's probably going to take the approach of trying to differentiate herself from the strategies of Biden. But
I mean, her best bet, if I'm her tomorrow, I'm trashing Biden to the ground.
Right.
Say this is his fucking fault. He never let me in the room. You have to.
Right. You have to. She has to. Because
She
it's
has to.
probably going to be ugly leading up to November, I would assume.
Yeah, because the market's going to have volatility. Unemployment is going up. There's nothing anyone can do about that piece. The only thing you can kind of control is the stock market because the Fed can cut
Right.
even more aggressive
And
than
they can
expected.
do all the other trickery in the
Liquidity,
background.
But I feel like the everyday person doesn't benefit as much. And I think it reads as just chaos.
Yeah.
Plus, this war thing doesn't read good politically.
No.
But I'm telling you, like the boomers who vote don't like, you're in your late 60s, you're in your early 70s.
Yeah.
Your portfolio is everything.
Your portfolio
That's
just kind
true.
of
That's
took it a
true.
tank.
But I'm just saying that I think, no matter, I'm not even saying this from an angle of having any political opinion. I'm saying I think it's in the Democrats' best interest to make everything seem okay. And so hopefully that will squash a little bit of the doom and gloom. I don't know. It's just a theory. Because they have every incentive to like the
I think-
Democrat ran economy and war and everything. Like, don't worry, we got it under control. It's not that big of a deal.
So if you take politics aside, I think the narrative has just been kind of shallow, meaning we all have known that the economy is kind of soft, but no one wanted to talk about it.
But
And
I will say, Anand, one of your points when you were anti-Trump debating was the economy's better than ever. Best economy we've ever had. Like, I feel like it's kind of been hidden, I think. Like, I think it's been kind of looming under the surface. And now we're starting to see some
I think it kind of snowballed in the last 6 months.
right, but I'm talking about a week ago.
A week ago, yeah, you were touting great stock market. The stock market could be down for the year by Friday.
Right.
Easily.
I'm just saying, and I don't think you were like
You were
delusional.
right a week ago.
I was right a week ago.
Right.
Now you're completely wrong.
Right. But I think these things have been looming, and I think they've been,
18 days ago was a record high. Record high?
Yeah.
18 days ago.
I mean, last year we were in a technical recession,
Yeah.
and they changed the definition.
Yeah.
I just think they've been trying to stuff it under the rug.
Yeah.
Now it's getting harder and harder to do that.
Yeah.
We got to turn the party hose back on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
we
before-
could.
b-
There's
before
so many
November.
bond buying things the Fed can do.
I think they were buying treasuries
Yeah,
quietly,
dude, all
keeping
of it.
liquidity, which that's under the administration. That's not Federal Reserve. That's Yellen. That's Janet Yellen.
the Treasury Secretary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see this interview? Pelosi said Biden should be on Mount Rushmore. What do you think about that? You think he should be on Mount Rushmore?
You said that?
I don't think he should be on Mount Rushmore.
She said Mount Rushmore.
That's probably just to like say thank you, because they probably said some wild shit to him in private to get him to
Yeah,
bail
exactly.
out.
They probably.
They probably, because
Yeah.
wasn't there a rumor or whatever that they said like we can do this the easy way or the hard way?
Yeah, and she was it.
Right.
Yeah.
So she's probably now like, okay, I feel bad for the
Thank you for taking for the team. Now you can go
Let's
to Mount Rushmore.
carve his face on Mount Rushmore.
I will say the polls. I know you guys don't like it. The polls are closing.
So
Also, my political opinion has changed in the last week.
I'll give you this. I think she got a massive first week bump. Massive.
Yeah.
She got into the zeitgeist in a very positive way.
Yep.
And I think, construction dudes for her, fucking white dudes for her, all these weird segregation campaigns they're pushing for her.
Right.
I think she got incredible bump, which, typically in a new candidate, new energy.
But also I think it's just like finally not
Yes.
Biden.
Yes. And I think the fact that it's not him
Right.
gave a lot of people who were on the sidelines in the Democratic Party a reason to get excited.
Yeah.
And because we know the polls are going to be the polls. It's coming down to a few states. It's going to be tight at the end. But she's now energized the party.
I just think
And-
4 months is a long time.
But yeah, the thing is like she's not good on her feet. That is her biggest flaw.
Right.
She's not objectively speaking, I don't think Donald Trump or Kamala Harris are smart people. And the only difference about being good on your feet is Donald Trump is funny. So people give it a pass. You could be dumb,
Right.
but if you're funny,
Right.
it passes. She's not funny and she's not smart. She's fine when she has the scripted speech. She's done a great job.
Right.
The
think we'll
most
just-
interesting thing that I saw today about the campaign,
Yeah.
which is very interesting, and I don't know if people are going to catch it. Beyonce donated $4 million.
I saw that. Yeah.
What about her husband?
Oh, it's just Beyonce?
It said
just
Beyonce
Beyonce.
donated $4 million. What is Jay-Z doing?
He's at Mar-a-Lago.
Jay-Z's got to donate for. And isn't
What's funny is
isn't Taylor Swift
they're
doing?
married, right? They obviously have joint money and individual
So they had
money.
to specify.
What?
They had to specify.
Yes, they
to
were-
all the PR people and all everyone. This is a Beyonce donation.
Yes, they released to the media that Beyonce is supporting $4 million and she's going on the road to help Kamala Harris win.
Yeah.
Jay-Z is nowhere to be found.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Where's Hove?
I'll tell you where he's at Mar-a-Lago. He's like, he's just like, yeah, that's you.
Yeah. That's really interesting because that would not be on accident.
No,
You know.
they're the most calculated people on fucking earth.
Right.
Beyonce does not leave her house unless she's calculated.
Has Obama endorsed her yet?
Obama's endorsed.
Yeah, they did it
Kamala
last
Harris.
week.
Okay.
Yeah, they did the phone call and everyone made fun
That
of
was
it.
horrible. That was horrible.
The speakerphone. And
Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Just be
I took a
graceful.
week off after like all the Trump assassination. I got overloaded. I took a week off of any political.
Yeah,
And I think Taylor Swift and Beyonce are doing a concert, if I read that right,
I don't know.
for Kamala Harris.
Could be.
Can you tell me one more time? Kamala?
Yeah. There
Not
you go.
Kamala.
Not Kamala's what Trump wants to say.
Kamala.
Yeah, Kamala. Maybe when she's black, she's Indian. She's Kamala.
Right. Kamala. Yeah. Kamala. Got it. She used to be black. She used to be Indian. Now she's black.
That was just.
I'm
the
curious
funniest-
how this plays out. She got a huge boost. I'm just curious.
It's a sprint, right? So we're in
'Cause think about how
July.
bad
We're-
she
no, it's not.
did.
We're in August.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
But it's not as
We're in August to
today's
November.
media. It's not as
Right. It seems like the assassination attempt was a year ago.
Yeah, people forgot that this guy got tried to get killed.
It's crazy.
And people don't even know what happened, and there's so many conspiracy
Right,
theories.
it doesn't matter. Seems like so long ago.
Yeah,
So we have August, September, October, and
Yeah,
then
that's
first week
it.
of November.
It's
Right?
just
3
remember
months.
how poorly she did last time. That's the only thing to me is like she did really bad. Her likability, she bailed out quick. So I'm just curious, what's the strategy?
the thing is,
she hasn't-
elections.
So the leak is that this guy Josh Shapiro.
He's gotten railroaded, right?
Yeah, I think they purposely leaked it to see what the reaction would be.
What's his deal?
He has some
He's pro-Israel is the main thing.
but he has some like sexual conduct.
Well, you want to talk about sexual conduct?
I feel like
Kamala
everyone-
Harris's husband, he likes to poke his dick around. Let me tell you what he got caught doing.
What?
This is insane story. This is
Public
In the
knowledge?
newspapers.
Right. Her current husband,
current husband when
the first man.
All right, I gotta start googling.
he
so I
got
can
married his first time around.
Fact check you.
Yeah. Different girl.
Different girl. He got caught cheating with their nanny who he impregnated.
Oh boy, the old Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And
What I don't want in this race is to be about who's morally a better person. Because they're both but that's what Democrats have always said. Donald Trump is such a piece of shit,
Right.
horrible human being. Impregnating your fucking
But that's
nanny?
her husband, not him. Her.
But she chose him knowing that information. This is a known thing. And we know her history.
Right.
Willie Brown,
Yeah.
Montel
all of
Jordan,
those things. Like,
There's a picture of her on the red carpet like Montel Jordan. Or?
yeah, Montel Jordan, Willie Brown, the mayor of San
Whatever.
Francisco.
She's allowed to date whoever
Yeah,
she
no, it's
wants.
just-
Yeah, but she was
It's
a
interesting.
homewrecker. That's been known.
I don't know if you can call it a home record.
Willie Brown, he was married.
This is what they're going to say. We got to prepare for it.
Yeah.
That's
You're
all
gonna
I'm
prepare
saying.
for it, but I'm saying
We don't know if Donald Trump had sex with Stormy Daniels.
I think we do.
No impregnation.
We weren't there. I'm just saying that's what's coming.
Yeah.
No, it's coming for sure, but I will say doesn't matter who you support, the election's coming down to the wire.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't before.
So
I would say
this is all I
is
want to
over.
add. This is
Yeah.
all I want to add
8
is
weeks.
I think you're right. And it's definitely much more than it was. But I feel like 4 months is such a
3.
long time, 3 months for who knows?
Yeah.
Like even Donald Trump could completely blow up.
Yeah.
But like, think about like, we were like, oh, it's kind of quiet like a month ago.
Yeah.
And this guy gets shot in the face. Biden gets ousted.
Now
blah,
the economy,
blah,
and
like,
then, by the way, the actual big thing for Kamala Harris, it's going to be a very challenging thing for her to navigate. So she did show up to greet Netanyahu, but she came out in support of Israel.
What a weird double.
Clearly, she got a phone call.
Right.
Said, you're going to get your ass out there and you're going to go support Israel.
Which one was first?
She snubbed Netanyahu, then gave a support for Israel.
But they met privately.
Yeah, but like,
She didn't go to Congress.
But it just
I know,
feels
but
like trying to play both
she's
sides.
the head of the Congress. She's you're supposed to greet the foreign leaders, right? And so she clearly got a phone call. She made support of Israel. Josh Shapiro, clearly pro-Israel. Her young voters are pro-Palestine,
Yeah.
pro-Hamas. They like that nonsense.
Mhm.
They're going to have a very challenging conversation internally
Right.
of what is best for her to get elected. And
yeah, that's all they care about. Of
yeah,
course.
exactly. It's about power, right?
Right.
So the money, we know where it's coming from. Wealthy Jewish Democratic donors. Think about who are the wealthy Chaim Saban, Jeffrey Katzenberg, David Gett. These are like very powerful Jewish donors in the party. Then you have these young people, which we know young people do not fucking vote.
Mhm.
Right.
They do not vote. It does not matter what they think.
Yeah.
It's the reality,
Yep,
right?
yep.
So she has to make a pretty quick decision because, Michigan has Muslim voters,
Massive.
massive Muslim voters, but her bankroll is coming from
Hollywood.
They're in a tough spot.
This may
Did you
be the
listen-
single biggest challenge of her campaign.
Did you listen to All In?
I did actually. This week's?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one on like Friday
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
They were pretty tough on Israel.
Yeah. Yeah. They
And David Sachs is Jewish.
yeah.
And Friedberg's Jewish.
Yeah. And I think but the money that donates to the party is not tough on Israel.
Yeah.
The money that donates say you're pro-Israel. or
I
you're not.
haven't seen someone with that big of a platform that's, I think, objective
Yeah.
take that stance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like you hear like the people on both sides just going crazy,
Yeah.
but those are like Jewish billionaires
Yeah.
that are like,
I
hey,
wouldn't say
we
they
don't
were like they're not anti-Israel.
No, they're not anti-Israel.
No.
They just don't agree with what's going on.
Yeah.
But
And I
wasn't
think,
the stance like kind of like just seems like a little much?
Yeah.
Right.
well, the
So
stance,
even
well, I
any
think the sta-
criticism.
I think the
No, but the fact that anyone that's as rich as they are
Right.
and
You're
as
saying any
influential,
criticism at all?
I mean, they have their platform's massive.
Yeah.
Those guys are
But they
huge.
weren't. I just wanted to clarify because I wasn't really paying too much
So
attention
I would say
to the episode. It was a mellow
yes,
pushback,
but-
right?
But no, yeah. Here's basically what it was. When you look at how they killed the head of Hamas,
Yeah.
they planted a bomb.
Yeah.
2 months. Mossad, and the Israeli army, they're the best in the world,
Yeah.
right? They're better. I would argue they're better than Americans in many of these cases.
Uh-huh.
So what their argument is, on the podcast, they said they know how to be surgical.
Right.
And I think their point was that knowing that you could be surgical, you chose a route that had casualties that typically do not happen in your types of retaliation.
Right.
And that is what their stance was. Like, clearly, if you wanted to smoke out all of Hamas, you could probably do it.
Yeah.
They have that much intelligence and that much ability.
Right.
And their adversaries, being Iran or Hamas, cannot compete with them
Right.
at all.
Right. That
The
was
best
take.
military in the world, outside of just pure power that we have
Yeah.
and just wealth,
Yeah.
right? Like they have nuclear weapons, they have this, they have that, they have everything. And so I think their argument was that you could be better, you could be more efficient
Right.
in the way you handled it, and you
Yeah.
chose a different route.
Yeah.
And I think
That's reasonable.
And they chose a different route because people were emotionally charged up probably in that country.
Yeah.
And then now they're getting blowback for their actions on it. So I think like it's a very tough. So for like the GOP, they're like, we're pro-Israel, we're all in.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
That's our stance.
Yeah.
Whereas the Democrats have always been pro-Israel, but their youth is telling them something otherwise. They have to make a decision now on how to move. You cannot be in the middle of this argument.
Right. And it's just funny because for the last, 8 years, they have catered. I'm not saying most of the things weren't right morally, but they've catered to that group and what they weren't happy with.
With the woke,
So anything race related, gender related, any of that, they have 100% never pushed back.
Yep.
Now there's this weird, tricky thing.
Yeah. No, I just thought it was interesting that 2 of the 3, because Jason Calacanis wasn't on the pod.
Right.
2 of the 3 are like.
And he moved, I saw they moved to Austin, Texas.
He moved to Austin.
That's
Texas.
a big move.
That's a big move.
Texas.
Was he in San Francisco?
The mothership. What's it called? What's Rogan's?
Yep.
Mothership.
Yeah.
But
Rogan did a live Netflix thing. Did you guys watch that?
I saw the clip that went viral,
Which one went viral?
which is
There's
about
a bunch.
like
The COVID shit.
the
Oh, yeah,
COVID
It was
and
good.
Michelle Obama. It was fucking wild.
Yeah.
It's wild coming.
Just props to Netflix for, they had all those protests for the Dave Chappelle stuff. They had all this stuff and they just said, fuck you.
yeah.
And they just continue to do, I don't know how many people watch that, but it was live. Now it's the number one thing trending.
Did you
Super
watch the whole
promoted.
thing?
Yeah, I did.
It was good.
It was good. It was really
He's-
good.
he's-
It was an hour of that.
He to me, I've watched his stand up.
Yeah.
And I have actually said this years ago on this podcast. The first time I saw Joe Rogan's podcast,
Yeah. You thought he was Dana White.
no,
You did.
forget even that. So I was at South by Southwest. This is probably 10 years ago,
Okay.
maybe longer. I don't know how long he's been in the podcast.
2007.
Okay. It might have been 15 years ago. 2009, 2010. Yeah, probably then. I'm at the Austin Whole Foods, which is the first Whole Foods ever.
Yeah.
Great Whole Foods.
I wanted to go to that Whole Foods because I had never been there.
Right.
I go.
It's like
hang
a
out,
legendary
cross-
Whole Foods.
What?
It's like
Oh
a
yeah,
legendary.
it's sick. It's
It's
the
like a-
first one.
Yeah,
Okay,
first one.
okay,
They,
okay.
it was, they used to
It's
have like
actually
a bar
really
there.
sick.
And,
If you're in Austin, you got to go to the Whole Foods.
yeah, so I go to the Whole Foods. I'm checking out. I was buying like a snack or whatever.
Yeah.
I see a sign. Joe Rogan doing his podcast live at the Whole Foods.
I remember you talking about this.
And I go and watch. There's like 7 fucking people.
And
Wait, you
Watching
actually
this-
saw him live?
Yeah, I saw him for 5 minutes. And I was like, oh, Fear Factor guy, whatever. I know. Because it said Joe Rogan from Fear Factor. I was
That's
like, oh, I'll go check it out.
funny.
I go watch and I was like, It's like, and I just kept walking.
Not for me.
Yeah, not for me.
And so
then,
what was
like-
your through line? Is that how you feel about his comedy as well?
Well, fast forward, years ago, there was another special that he came out with.
Yep.
Not
Yeah,
too long ago.
Triggered, I think it was
Yeah.
called. Yep.
And I didn't find him funny.
Yeah.
Like,
That's reasonable. You should. I would love your take. You should watch this one
Okay.
because I would just love to hear your take.
So
I think he's funny, but I don't think he's like one of the greatest comedians ever. It's kind of like if you like him on the podcast when he's being funny, it's like that in a comedy routine.
he just doesn't strike me funny at all.
But
so
it
like
is funny. What's funny now, I will say, is the fact that he was like so like crazy canceled during COVID. And then like, the montage came out of him saying the N-word. And like, so the comedy perspective of being him now is just entertaining.
So
Because he talks about all those things.
my take is he's an incredible podcaster.
Yeah.
I love all his podcasts. I can listen to if he's talking to a UFC fighter, if he's
Yeah.
talking to a beekeeper, if he's talking to anyone.
Right.
He's really great at that.
Mm-hmm.
And the stand-up I started watching and I was like, this is just a worse version of the podcast.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I'm not.
I know he loves comedy and he's so like,
Yeah.
he's so prideful of being a comedian,
Right.
but he's incredible at podcasting.
Yeah, I think it's like an accident. Like it's like I don't know, I guess Tony Romo isn't a good example, but like, someone that their main thing was this, but you actually are better at this.
Yeah.
But it is still funny. And like I said, the thing that I loved about it more than anything was him. He had a wild last 4 years.
Yeah.
like since his last special came out. And
Yeah, he's
so
just become the biggest thing since then.
right. And like putting that into a comedy routine. Like he said, one of his things, I won't spoil the joke, but he says like, I was getting canceled so much, it would catch me by surprise. Like one morning I woke up and I had my boxers on. I went to go take a shit and I sat down on the toilet. I opened my phone and the first thing I saw was Prince Harry yelling about me. You know,
Yeah.
Joe Rogan, misinformation and vaccine. And he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
you
you
know,
just become so big.
right.
Yeah.
And so that perspective is really entertaining. But
right.
yeah, I agree. Anyway, I didn't mean to go on that Rogan tangent.
Okay.
What else? Where are we at?
I have two more things I want to talk about. One is Anand's girl, Kamala Harris, endorsed George Gascon.
Okay.
Ugh.
I don't agree with that.
You don't.
That's fine.
Do you think it's insane?
I think
These guys, they just don't care.
other candidate is probably a better choice.
Anyone.
We're trying to get him on.
Yeah.
He
Well, you had Gascon on.
Might as well have this guy.
Look what you did.
Oh my God. That was the biggest mistake of my life.
Yeah. The thing that drives me insane, and I know that like it's so big and it's so hard to care and like, or so hard to like worry about all the details. And so what you end up doing is supporting the front runner in your party.
Yeah.
But like, how can you not take a look at what is happening and be like, hey,
Yeah.
it's
How
time
does
for a
that
change.
break though, right? Because it happens from the top down. So like
Right.
the billionaires that have private security are just donating to all these candidates.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. But
So
yeah. But what I don't get is
why
like,
aren't they breaking? They're all really smart. If you made that much money and you've built all these businesses, why can't you just be like, hey, I like this, but I don't like that?
I think it's gotten, this is just my take. I have no idea. I think it's gotten so fucked up. And I'm not even saying like necessarily like corrupt or evil or any of that. I'm just saying I think it's like so much about hobnobbing and who has the money and so if I'm the rich guy, I'm going to donate to this campaign because I know they're going to do me some favors and we're all just part of the same group. And it's
But,
too
like,
much of a disruption
what's
to
a-
actually make a change.
What's a billionaire going to get from George Gascon?
Chaos.
I'm sure like, who knows, like
cheap real estate
permits.
when everyone's getting,
permits and shit. Like
Yeah.
the ability to build that fucking beach house
yeah.
on that little piece of land in Paradise Cove. You know, like it's bullshit like that. That's
Yeah.
like, that's what I'm concerned
Because the
about.
billionaire's like, yeah, whatever. I don't give a shit. Let's just play bird. I'm in Malibu with my security.
What I don't get is like, remember when, I forget the guy's name, but that music mogul's wife
Yeah.
was shot in the chest in Beverly Hills.
That was the founder of Netflix, right?
Well, that happened too, I think, but I'm
His
talking about
wife.
his wife was shot and killed in a home invasion. This is what I just wish.
With security, by the way.
Right.
There was security at the house.
Well, keep in mind, one of our friends, I guess, I don't know, whatever, doesn't matter, don't need to say his name, had security, followed home in a full-on shootout with his security outside of his house in
Yeah.
Beverly Hills. And my point is, it seems to me, like I wish I could ask one of these big donors this one question, is like, when that happens, doesn't that feel a little like too close to home? And like, couldn't you sit down at one dinner with Gascon and change that? Like, isn't it that simple?
Maybe not with him. You may have to change.
But why? But I'm saying either you say, "Hey, George, got a couple things wrong here. Everything's great, but we need to take care of these things," or no more money. And Gascon says, "Yeah, fucking sure."
Donald Trump just posted on Truth Social. Incredible content. Stock market crashing. I told you so.
I know.
Kamala doesn't have a clue. Biden is sound asleep, all caused by inept use.
He's gonna have a great couple of weeks here.
He's gonna get the bump this week
Right.
because of this race is
It's gonna be
3
week by
months
week.
is 17 years.
It's gonna be like that photo,
Yeah.
that photo from the track,
Yes.
whatever it was, where it was like the closest finish in history.
Yeah.
It's gonna be week by week.
All right, let's go to the Olympics because.
But let me ask you, let me put a bow on that. Is
Yeah.
I can't believe it's not that simple. Like, I think.
Well, because there's other people. It's not one billionaire. There's other people who actually believe what George
believe it's
Gascon
gonna
is
work out.
doing is right.
But how do you not see the
I know,
results?
but you may think that it's going to take 50 years of George Gascon
Ugh.
to fix the structural damages of the U.S. prison system.
Like if you run a business, your CEO is fired. earnings came in. Everyone's getting shot and stabbed. You can't wear a watch anywhere in the near area. You're fired, dude.
I hung out with a friend. I'm not going to say who it is. He, from a social media standpoint, extremely high profile.
Yeah.
He runs a very high profile business in LA. And we went on a run today together.
Yeah.
I saw the car he drove and I was like, did you lose everything? Are you poor?
Oh.
What happened?
Oh.
So I thought
you were going
he
the
went
other way.
broke. And he's like, no. He's like, and this guy has Lamborghinis and fucking all the craziest cars, watches, jewelry. He's like, no,
Can you bleep out the name?
He drives a Urus,
Right. What was he driving?
a Toyota Corolla.
That's
a
how
Toyota
bad.
Corolla with nothing, no watch, no jewelry, nothing. Toyota Corolla.
And
This
look-
guy drove $850,000 car.
You know what's actually funny? I was at dinner the other night and I saw someone with like a really fancy watch,
Yeah.
and I don't know watches like that. And I was like, I don't want to walk out with you.
Yeah. But think about the fact, like, can we just not be used to this for 1 second and think about the fact that in Los Angeles, one of the biggest cities in the country.
Yeah.
Look, I know it's so easy to make fun of this, but like people are driving Corollas instead of Lamborghinis because of how scary this is. Or everyone that I know walks in and out of every restaurant with their watch in their pocket.
Yes.
Or Anand was scared to walk out next to a stranger with a nice watch. I mean, that is so bad.
That's bad. And then your girl endorsed him. The guy that caused all the problems.
I don't agree with the endorsement.
Why don't you donate a bunch of money to her, have a meeting, and be like, reverse this.
You saw
And-
Scooter Braun's post?
Why do you think she's pro-Israel?
What's Scooter Braun say?
He's pro Kamala.
Yeah.
Right.
He's a big Democratic donor and he's very pro-Israel. So you want that public.
I just don't understand. Like, Democrat values, I love, they're great. But how can you let a city turn into this? And so many cities have turned into this.
I know,
so many.
This isn't
think,
LA. And how
I
are
think
you
that's
just
the problem
sitting?
with kind of both parties.
Right.
It's just like both are broken,
Right.
right? Like, so,
Right. I think every election for the near future is the lesser of two evils.
yeah. So, I mean, I don't like to walk around with someone who has a nice watch because I don't want to get assaulted.
I mean, that's absurd. In LA, and we're not talking about any sort of sketchy area. We're talking about the nicest part of LA.
Yeah. You can't walk around with a nice thing.
It's just wild. Okay. What did you want to get to?
I want to do
Olympics.
Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
Man, Olympics.
So first I'll say Summer Olympics viewership is up 75%.
Is it really?
From Tokyo. Yeah.
I didn't see.
And-
Oh, well, Tokyo, there was no audience, right?
Yeah, Tokyo, there was nobody in there. And I think during COVID, I'll give everything a pass. I think people were just checked out and were not interested in anything.
Right. I wonder what it was up from 2016.
Oh, that's a good. I didn't look at that. I only looked at the comparison to Tokyo.
But I will say they seem hot. Like whatever they're doing,
So,
it just seems top of mind.
I always say this every 4 years. Olympics is the greatest thing. It's similar to World Cup to me.
Right.
I love the pride that every country has.
Yeah.
And I think Olympics particularly is very fascinating in the sports that are not mainstream, like track and field and swimming and
There's some random ass
shooting and
sports.
whatever, all these other,
Handball and water
and-
polo.
and, like I watched fencing the other night on the plane and I
Right.
was very engaged.
Really?
Yeah, women's team fencing I watched and I
Team
was
fencing?
Yeah, and I was like USA won and I was like, oh yeah, motherfuckers,
Right.
fuck you. Like,
It is
whatever.
good for that. I've been leaving it on like just in the background at my
Yeah.
house, and like I'll be like, "Oh, fucking handball! How's
Yeah.
this work?"
Yeah,
then
and I think the reason why I love it personally is forget Team USA. That's just like, to be fair, that's like whatever, like fantasy land of sports. So put them aside. It's specifically basketball. I'm talking about basketball, men's basketball.
Yep.
Put them aside because that's like a super team. These are people that their entire life was built on a moment.
Yep.
A moment. And in some cases, seconds.
Yeah.
Like I watched Sha'Carri Richardson in her race the other night.
Yeah.
She's the face of women's Olympics in America with Simone Biles, and she lost. She was second.
Yeah.
You know how fucking devastating that is?
What country did she lose to?
She lost to St. Lucia, their first medal ever.
Right.
And then I watched the mixed relay, which I thought was probably the best fucking event of the Olympics by far, which is 2 men, 2 women, and it's a 400-meter relay.
Okay.
Swimming.
But track. Just track.
Okay, got it.
This is, I'm telling you, you should watch the replay of the mixed relay 400 meters. USA smoking. First, second, third, fourth leg. The girl is ahead. So far ahead.
Yeah.
This random white girl from Netherlands comes from nowhere and fucking crushes America.
Really?
Yes, crushes. And then they interview her and she sounds like Mickey Mouse.
Oh, I heard the voice.
Mickey Mouse!
No, I heard the voice. Everyone was making. Everyone was memeing
what
her.
The fuck? You sound like Mickey Mouse and you're the fastest person.
So
I'll give my last one piece was the men's 100 meter. Men's 100 meter
Lyles?
in Olympics.
The track.
Yes. Is the most important event in all of Olympics.
It's Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
It's like,
I remember as a kid when, I don't remember what year this was.
Michael Johnson?
No, it was Ben Johnson, the Canadian sprinter, probably in the 90s. And I remember sitting in our TV in our living room and Dad was like, this is the most important race. This is going to determine who the fastest man in the world is.
Yeah.
Which, you know, when you think about like the world, the fastest man, that's the fastest person in the world is kind of important.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So then
I feel like every kid in their head is like, I could be the fastest person.
Yeah, or you're just like, oh, who's the fastest person on earth? We all think, you know, when you're a kid, you all think you're fast. So Noah Lyles, I watched his Olympic trials. I watched his, you know, prelims kind of leading up to this. He's like definitely the biggest personality of the Olympics. Right. I don't know. Did you guys watch today?
Yeah, no. I watched his race.
Okay. So the 100-meter race, he goes, there's 3 Americans, 3 Jamaicans. And this race is less than 10 seconds. Yeah. The entire race.
Yeah.
This motherfucker, Noah Lyles, I'm watching. I'm watching with my kids. And I'm like, he's in last. Anyone. He was literally in last place with 40 meters left.
And then just sprinted past?
And the Jamaican, I was like, literally crossed the finish line.
They thought the Jamaican won.
Yes. Well,
the public or whatever, the media.
Even the media there on NBC, Michael Johnson on BBC was watching it also. I watched the same take with him covering. It's like Noah Lyles won. He just knew as a sprinter.
Yeah, he knows more than obviously
and
like
so
a
Noah
random
Lyles
commentator.
wins. You have to watch. I want you to go home and watch this race.
I will.
Then I want you to watch.
It's 9 seconds.
Close.
Yeah. It's 9 seconds. You can watch it on the way home.
Yeah, and the thing was is like the 5 people that finished were less than 1/10 of a second apart.
That was my joke because I saw that photo.
Yeah.
That was my joke about the presidential race.
Yeah.
Will feel that way.
Yes.
But I just saw the photo. So the US guy is Lyles.
Yeah.
And he did win.
He did win.
But
He
they
won
thought at the live announcement that the Jamaican guy won.
He even thought the Jamaican won.
He went to him and said,
"Hey,
you
congrats.
got this. You got this."
Damn.
He kept saying to him, "You got this."
And
Is
then
it like
he
whatever
just
part of your body crosses first?
yes, he basically
all
his
of a
chest
sudden,
crossed it faster than his.
So I have a few Olympic takes before we leave. Simone Biles, unbelievable.
Yes,
I don't know if you got to watch.
I just have seen highlights and stuff.
I watched a couple of her competitions. I didn't miss the team. I was,
Yeah, whatever. You're
I just hate that I
circling
don't
with
know,
Solomon.
right. I just hate that I don't know like what
I don't know.
Like they're talking about how insane it is, you know?
Do you have YouTube TV?
Yeah.
They literally put together highlight reels every
Okay.
day.
So you know what's even
I'll watch
better
it.
is Peacock has Gold Zone,
Yeah.
which is the equivalent of NFL Red Zone,
Yeah.
where they just play the most important things of the Olympics.
Yeah, that's great.
Right.
And I think YouTube has done a great job. Like I watched things from 2 days ago in recaps.
Yep.
So Simone Biles is absolutely incredible. She had obviously like her thing in Tokyo. And she came back and she's so clutch. Like when she won the gold for one of the individual competitions,
Yeah.
she had to perform.
Right.
It wasn't like, it was given that she was going to win,
yeah.
and she just crushed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I mean, I don't know gymnastics, but I know, watching her, it was like, oh, she's
Yeah.
doing her thing.
That's what I admire. What I admire so much about like that particular thing or the track or whatever is like, it's only once every 4 years.
Yeah.
It's not yearly. This could be her last one.
Yeah, she's 27.
Right.
It's probably her last one.
And for a lot of these athletes, I feel like they only make it to one.
yeah.
And the point is like, not only that, obviously there's tens of millions of people watching and it's just you. Like there's no team on a lot of these things. And like to see the routines and shit that like Simone Biles and them do, and like for it to come down to like, okay, I got to land my double McTwisty back double triple with
Or I don't, well, the whole country loses.
right, and I never get to try again. It's just that level of pressure is pretty unfathomable.
Yeah, and I think the other piece is that when you look at like an American athlete has to win.
Yeah.
Everyone else, it's the greatest day of their life
Yes.
if they will get a medal.
I saw one where they're like, Italy got silver and they haven't won a medal since 1922 or something. Like, it
Yeah,
was
like the
what
Hungary
fuck?
is like 96 years.
Yeah.
I think
They were thrilled to have anything.
By the way, just to, I know we shit on U.S. sports all the time.
Uh-huh.
They completely have kicked everyone's ass. They have 71 medals. The next closest is China with 45.
Right.
They're tied with the most gold medals with a week of track and field left. They're going to, Noah Lyles is going to win three more medals.
No Chinese is winning track.
Yeah, 0. And so,
I mean, just come
and you
on.
have
it's-
Team USA basketball.
And I will say, because on this podcast, we criticized Simone Biles for kind of backing out of Tokyo.
Yeah.
And I want to take it back.
Okay.
She's clutch.
Yeah, I don't remember. I would like to think we were like kind of just joking, being assholes, but
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was 4 years ago.
I'll take
This
it back too, I
podcast is
guess.
7 years ago.
I'll take it back.
I don't know what I
I
said,
don't
so I
remember
can't
what I
take
said.
it back
I don't
yet.
remember what I said, but just in case.
No, but we were just saying, like, how do you not perform? But like, I think the take is basically like when you're not mentally there,
Right.
it's very dangerous to do what they do.
Yeah.
It's not like you're playing basketball. Like you're not going to die.
Yeah.
You could literally die. Or
I also think what's funny, because now I'm trying to remember it, and I think that part of what it was I think originally it was just said that it was a mental health,
yeah.
like I'm depressed. And I think it's really funny, and I don't know the answer to this, but it's funny that like, I feel like there's real mental health problems, which it sounds like hers was. Hers was more of a like getting lost in the air and losing all of her confidence and not knowing, feeling like she was losing her ability. And then there's like the overusage of
course,
mental health, and
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, that's interesting. It sounds like hers was very valid.
So Noah Lyles posted after he won the race,
Mhm.
I have asthma, allergies, dyslexia, ADD, anxiety, and depression. But I will tell you what you have does not define what you can become. Why not you?
See, more of that.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, and I'm not talking about Simone Biles here. I'm talking about the thing that bums me out is like when I see that America's kicking everyone's ass in medals and you see shit like what Noah Lyles said, it's like, fuck yeah, that is why it's so sick that we live here or that, whatever. And I just feel like it's become so popular to
give
shit
excuses
on America.
Well, no. The problem is, and to go back to Simone Biles thing, is, people gave her a pass for depression or whatever it may be.
Right.
And so 25 years ago, that would not be okay. And I'll tell you how big the tide has turned the other way. We're going to go the other way.
I hope so.
And I'll tell you why.
Not in a. I don't want it to be bad.
So
but
Nike, which I would consider a very woke brand. It is a woke brand to me, and it's why On Running has worked.
Yeah.
Because predominantly white people wear the brand, older white people, because they will not put on Nike.
Right.
Their latest campaign is not inclusive.
And they're in big trouble. The wokies are
because
outraged.
They had the campaign of "Am I a bad person because I want to basically kick your ass?"
That's the one I'm talking about.
My son Dominic, literally every day, because I showed him near on Sunset.
Yeah, I saw the billboard. Still sick. Yeah,
yeah, right. We drive by it every day.
Yeah,
I take him, I show him to him, and he goes. Today they were playing a card game at home.
Yeah,
our little 3-year-old lost.
Yeah,
and he goes to him. He pulls his head. He goes, "Winning isn't for everyone."
That's amazing.
And
that's what Dominic said.
Yeah, and I was like,
"Am I a bad guy?"
I was like, "Fucking love that."
Yeah,
it isn't for everyone.
Yeah,
this fucking guy. What is he battling?
But also,
he literally just said, "I'm battling everything."
Yeah.
He's a sprinter and he has asthma and allergies.
Right.
It is the worst thing to have. Yeah. I have asthma and allergies. Right. As a runner, as a shitty runner, it is literally the worst thing to have.
Right.
He has dyslexia, ADD, anxiety, and depression.
Right.
And he just said, "Fuck you!
Right.
I'm the fastest man in the world."
Right. I just missed that. I think.
Yeah.
Even the way that resonates with like a kid going to their first day of high school that's scared. Like you get a little more motivation from what Noah Lyles said.
So do you know what's confusing to me?
What?
Is the biggest thing during the pandemic lockdown was The Last Dance. Michael Jordan's.
For males.
Was when it came on, you mean?
Yeah, when it came on.
Yeah.
For
they really
40-year-old males.
And all it was, I will do anything to win.
Right.
Yeah. I don't care.
Uh-huh.
And
but that
how
was
did that
early,
not translate like the next couple years?
Because we got soft.
Like why didn't it stick?
Yeah,
we got soft.
It was against the.
Because everyone. I mean, maybe I'm just age biased.
Michael, Last Dance is watched by boomers.
We're not boomers.
We're
boomers. Millennials.
As far as young people are concerned,
you're Gen Z straight to boomer. Yeah,
we're dead.
No, I think on it was so good, but the majority of the people watching it already believe in that mentality.
Like I watched that inspired.
Right. But you have always had that mentality. Like you've always admired that mentality. It's the new trend. It's all the young like employees and students and people that are influencing how the messaging goes out that messaging they didn't even know Last Dance existed. But this Nike thing is hitting their radar and they are very pissed. I'm curious.
Nike, this campaign is not inclusive at all. It means
it is.
No, it's not because it's for people.
But what I mean is there's black, white, there's all.
But no.
Right.
Forget race.
No, he's talking about mentality.
It's you got to be inclusive. It's not inclusive in mentality. It's
you got to be loser inclusive now.
Are you willing to fucking give up everything to win? That is not inclusive. Because people.
The problem is that word inclusive went from a race and gender thing to now you cannot alienate anyone.
You know what's interesting is
think about it. What % of the society do you believe is I will do anything to fucking win? What % of society is that?
So here's the thing. I will say
0 something. 0.001.
I think it's bigger than that.
Every podcast that has NBA players on it, there's millions, not millions, but whatever. There's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing they ask is like, give me a Kobe story. And it's always crazy.
Right. But go to Harvard and tell kids they should be a little bit more like Kobe and they're going to storm out of your classroom.
Kobe he's MAGA compared to these kids.
I agree. But I'm saying, but everyone gravitates towards those stories because they go viral.
Yeah.
But your generation and my generation, but I'm telling you,
it's not.
They don't.
So do you think if people heard the Kobe story, like,
yes, they'd be like, he was an abusive, that is terrible and toxic masculinity.
Yes.
It would happen.
It would.
I would love to have like a 22-year-old to tell me that.
Well,
it's like, why? He just ruined everyone around his life to win. That's Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
He ruined his life, everyone around him, but he was a champion.
I think
That is what it takes to be great.
right.
I think to be great, you have to sacrifice a lot of things.
Yeah. People fucking hate your guts to be great. That's it.
But
And
also,
that,
yes.
unfortunately,
Like even they talk about LeBron, like obviously he's married, his 3 great kids, they're all seemingly well, but people say like he had to sacrifice a lot to be who LeBron is.
of course he did.
But the reason why those stories are so important isn't because there's going to be millions of Kobe's. It's because of that single mom going to work, or that dad that has to handle his business, or that kid going to school gets a little bit of a pick me up from it. And you get through your day and you're able to handle your shit and you're able to keep moving forward. When you have a message of you're a victim and it's okay because it's not fair and everyone that's rich is evil and all these people, Kobe was terrible. You what do? Like,
Yeah.
everything just collapses.
Yeah.
Everything becomes a safety net.
Yeah.
You know, and to me, when I watch the Olympics and I see the medal count, I get a little boost of like, fuck yeah, like we're
course.
America.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's been so cool to like hate on America and hate on success and hate on, whatever. But I do agree. It is a pendulum. It'll probably swing.
I think Nike's changing their.
You guys both have young employees, so
Yeah.
how do you guys think about it?
In what,
Are they like in the Kobe, LeBron mindset, or are they kind of like in the?
Well, I'll be honest. I talk kind of that way, not too harsh. I don't use the language I would have like maybe at Young and Reckless, but I am very much driven by numbers and revenue and performance. And I feel like they're with it. I mean, I don't know. They might go home and
I'll be honest, very private, but in our company, people have told other people in the company that have gotten back to me that I have said nothing is good enough.
right. Like they quoted you, like you said
like
that exact thing.
my view is nothing is good enough.
Mhm.
And I have a view of,
Which is the right frame of mind, in my opinion.
and I have the view of the mission is not accomplished. So we have nothing to celebrate
Right.
and nothing to get excited about.
Right.
It's great to be proud of what we've done,
Yeah.
but mission is not accomplished. We haven't
Right.
fucking done anything.
Right.
And so I think that message may frustrate people that are looking for validation for the good work they've done.
Right.
And I understand that, like, when you work hard, you're looking for some sort of recognition.
Right.
But when you're shooting for something so big,
Right.
you can't, you can't,
So
in my
what-
opinion, like, I can't celebrate. Like, for me, with this business, I can't celebrate until to me, when I look at my career,
Yeah.
I've been, there was a race where like this girl had the flag on her chest and she was celebrating and
Yeah.
then she lost. She was second.
Really?
Yes, because she celebrated too early.
Got it.
That's how I have felt prior to now.
Right.
Where I celebrated too early, thinking I won,
Right.
and I actually lost.
Right.
There's a scene. Have you guys watched the last Top Gun with Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Of course.
Where he lectures all like the top pilots or whatever, the fighters,
Yeah.
and he just throws the manual in the trash.
Yeah.
And he's like, none of this is going to matter because what we
Right.
have to deal with is way bigger.
Right.
A fake enemy.
Here's my take.
No, but my point
Yeah.
is like, he was trying to motivate them. Like,
Yeah.
you got to get better.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's my take. My take is, at least me, I don't think like all young people are soft.
No, I don't think
Everybody's-
so.
I don't think so. I think that there are plenty of very ambitious people that the message, like the Nike message, really resonates with them, that are young. I just think we are, instead of celebrating and building more of those people, we're like, there's this toxic messaging, this coddling messaging that I just think is very dangerous, because I think a young person is very impressionable.
Yes.
And I think that they can be sent down a wrong path and wake up one day and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why don't I have what that girl has that was
Yeah.
in class with me? Because she had a different, her dad or mom told her something different, or she subscribed to a different mentality. And I think that's fucked up.
I think it's changing for sure. So there's a podcast that I suggest both of you guys listen to. 20 VC. He has this partner from Founders Fund.
Yeah.
Oh,
His
I
name's
listened to
Delian.
that. I actually randomly listened to that.
What's his name?
Did you really?
Yeah.
His name's Delian.
Yeah.
And he's pretty abrasive.
Yeah, he's good though. I liked
Yeah.
him.
But it was really good content.
Yeah.
He's like a younger dude. He's probably 10, 12 years younger than I
he's
am,
probably like 30,
if I
yeah.
had to guess. But he's just like very militant about working
Right.
and like, you know, showing up and like being strong
Yeah.
about what your opinions are.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is why I'm better than everyone.
Right. Which I just think that was the messaging for so long. That messaging works. That is the reality of what very high achievers, how they think. And also,
Don't you think it's a window for younger people to just win?
I do.
Yeah, the thing is like when
do.
you
If
look
you
at
just
the
become like
I don't know if it'll ever be
savage.
this
3 years
open.
ago,
Yeah.
3 years ago, the Nike ad would have
Yeah, people would shit on
fat
it.
people
Yeah.
that like you're talking about. These are athletes. They're not.
Right.
I'm not an athlete. I look at Noah Lyles. That's not me.
Right.
But it motivates me.
Right.
I ran. I'm not even joking. I ran the fastest I've run in 5 years
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. That's the point.
I literally,
You know what's
I
interesting?
ran
Like,
so
if there-
fast.
let me just say that-
because of literally that race.
And like, if there was a pill that you could take
yes.
to do that for you, give you that motivation,
Yeah.
that would be the most successful
Literally
pill
watching
in
the
history.
Olympics and watching Noah Lyles, I got out there and I ran and I was like, fuck.
Right.
And I remember vividly, it was a small crew. It was like 4 or 5 of us. One of the guys goes to Dominic. He's like, "Oh, your old man still has some speed."
Yeah.
That was it. That was the best thing someone has told me
Yeah.
all year.
Yeah.
But no joke.
It's so, yeah,
It's
so
it's
important.
funny that you bring that up because of the Olympics, and I've just had it on like
Yeah.
on the TV. I cold plunged and worked out
Right.
3 straight days.
That's my point, guys. Like that is so, do you realize that if you multiply that
Yeah.
by tens of millions of people,
Yeah.
that is so important. And vice versa, if you could have a messaging or a thing or a piece of content that you said, oh, I haven't cold plunged in 3 days because that thing's, I've been watching too much politics. Or D was like, I didn't go for a run today because that thing kind of bummed me out.
Yeah.
Like you can also do the opposite. And I just feel like, I don't know, it's just so poisonous that this whole like coddling messaging.
Yeah. No,
And it has fucked up the minds of like when you see the backlash. I mean, you could probably Google it, but there is severe backlash against that Nike campaign, and it's just like,
Really? I didn't realize that.
yeah. And when you look at these people,
I
you're
just
just like,
searched
man,
it on TikTok, not feeling the ad at all.
yeah,
Winning isn't for everyone.
yeah. And my point is like, I look at those people and like that's sad for them
yeah.
because you could change your life, whatever's going on in your life. You could be a little healthier, you could be a little fitter, you could be a little whatever, but you just so don't believe it that you want to kill anything that's actually telling you that.
Because you
what
have to believe that in life, nobody wins.
Right.
Few win.
No, I think you believe that everything's against you and you can't overcome it.
Because everything's unfair.
Everything's unfair.
Yeah.
And like when, you know, obviously maybe we're just a different generation. When I hear like a Kobe story,
Right.
I'm like, all right, I got to go fucking work out.
Yeah. Yeah. And for the record, I don't think, like I said, there is a lot of Gen Zers and whatever's even below them that are savages. But I do think, here's the good
I
news.
have on my team Gen Zers that will kill
Yeah.
me and everyone
Yeah,
to win. Like,
absolutely.
so I do believe that they do it. The problem is the public persona of Gen Z
Yes.
is not that.
Well, I think it's a small population. So you've obviously
No, I
over-indexed.
actually don't think it's small. I think like it's just become this like cultural wave that like you can't.
So you think
be-
it's like similar to woke then?
Yes, I literally think it's that. Imagine
Everyone's
if you're
woke and every young kid sucks.
Wait, what? I lost it.
no more of the sense of that. I think if you are like a savage and you're
Yeah.
19 years old,
You're the minority.
you're a minority and you don't want to speak out about being a savage,
Right. And the majority is woke.
and the majority is not that, so you just shut the fuck up.
It's probably woke, savage, and then just sort of a complacent
I think-
majority.
I think there's a
Savage.
Because I'm a woke, savage.
We're gonna see a lot of Megan Thee Stallion in the next 3 months.
Oh, like, why are we tapping into her? Can't we do better? Yeah. But look, I don't think all is lost. I do think the takeaway is this. If you are a young person, if you're anyone, but especially if you're a young person, you're not going to have any more of a head start than you will right now if you're a savage.
Yeah.
Because eventually the pendulum is going to swing. Going to be a lot more savages out there.
Yeah.
Right now, the savage bucket is more depleted than it's ever been.
I will take this will be a pivotal moment culturally with the Nike ad.
Yeah.
If I'm Nike, I'm quadrupling down on this campaign and just say, we are not for everyone.
Yeah.
If you are a fucking loser, don't wear our brand.
Yeah.
By the way, that is what the brand stood for.
It's called Just Do It.
Right.
No, it was called Michael fucking Jordan. Yeah. The entire brand was built on one guy.
And the biggest savage on the planet.
Yeah, he would kill you, me, everyone to win.
Yeah. While he had the flu.
Yeah, right? Like, he is the epitome of what that brand stood for. And they went such the other way where it just turned everyone off. Even me, like, I don't fucking wear Nike.
Yeah.
But if they had a winning isn't for everyone shirt, I mean, I'd wear that shit.
I mean, I'm just a lazy golf shopper, and I have I've been looking for what's a cooler golf brand.
Yeah,
I know there's some out there, but anyway, I think the biggest thing is it is a pendulum. It will swing.
Yeah,
we're still hot. We're still dominating the Olympics.
Yeah, just destroying everyone.
We're okay. We just got to get off of this.
Team USA basketball Tuesday, Brazil. Now it's knockout rounds.
I mean, they're not losing to Brazil.
Is there anyone they risk losing to?
I mean, you just don't know because you get cold.
So there are people. It's not just a complete domination every time.
No, I think
Well, they have been.
This is. I mean, it has been in the group rounds, but
It'll get real
look,
now. Right.
It would be devastating if they lost.
It'd
If
be
they
devastating.
lost, Nike is fucked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nike winning is for fuck.
But I'm telling you,
Right.
Steph hasn't been
Winning is
playing
for
well.
Brazil.
If LeBron gets hurt or
LeBron
something,
and KD are basically holding it down for the whole team.
KD is awesome.
Yeah.
I gotta watch.
All right. There's 1 week left of Olympics. Watch the Olympics.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was.
the
I was
last
wrong.
thing on Olympics,
are
and we
hotter
can-
than I thought.
We can sign off. Did you see? I posted it. Michael Phelps cheering on the French dude.
Yeah,
That was really
because
cool.
that guy was beating.
He's beating all his records,
Right.
and he's cheering him on.
Yeah, I saw your post.
So the funniest thing is about when you look at all of these Olympians, that guy, the French guy, he goes to Arizona State.
Did you really?
Arizona State.
That's funny.
He goes to ASU. He's a fucking Sun Devil.
It's funny because I know golfing, and so the golfing is all these
I
different
saw
countries.
your boy won.
Yeah, but it's all these different countries, but it's all guys that live in America and play on the PGA Tour.
Yes.
But they're representing England and Scotland.
And the coach is Bob Bowerman or whatever, Bowman or whatever his name is, who is the American coach.
Yeah, come on.
It's just
those are America's medals.
Yeah, don't worry. We won all these medals, motherfuckers.
And
if you took all the medals of U.S. residents, I'm curious how many we really have.
I think Embiid did the right thing. He's like, I'm playing for America, not France.
Right.
Yeah, obviously. Come on.
Right.
France not winning that. France has done very well in this Olympics, but they're not the best.
I wonder what it's going to be like here.
Oh yeah, that's
here's what I'll tell you. I have friends who live in Paris. I have people visiting. Paris is generally quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's busy in the busiest places, but it's not like a normal city,
Right.
normal Paris time of year. Because I think people get scared of the Olympics and they just leave town.
Mm-hmm.
They go on vacation or they don't want to come. Like, for example, this past week, I was in Europe. I would have normally gone to Paris,
Right.
spent 2 nights and then gone home.
Skipped it.
I skipped it because I was like, the Olympics is too fucking crazy. I don't want to be around.
I have an employee that lives in Paris that came here.
Yeah, exactly.
here
Because they
now.
don't want to deal with it.
Right.
I think I was talking to my mom about this because I told her that. And she said in 1984 in the Olympics in LA, that's what happened.
Right.
Everyone left town.
Oh.
So
it could be a little oddly quiet.
yes, I think we'll live here. We'll go. We'll get to go to games, probably have light traffic and have an amazing time.
That's cool because I pictured clusterfuck
Yeah.
terrible.
I can't wait because I'll also have kids that can go.
Appreciate
and-
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Okay, that's great.
I'm excited. I love the Olympics. I love
Olympics are amazing. Simone Biles tomorrow morning.
What is she doing?
Individuals.
Okay.
She's still going.
She's still going.
I mean, this girl has to fucking
Yeah.
perform
Yeah.
like how many times?
Yeah.
12 times over.
She said she can't even go in the Olympic Village because there's
I mean,
too many
she's too
pictures.
famous.
Yeah, too
Yeah,
famous.
she's too famous.
I mean,
But,
like Team USA and going to
You
the
know,
Olympic
they
Village.
gave her husband a pass to not be at training camp. He's a
yeah.
Bears.
Yeah.
Bears, yeah.
now I can appreciate because I do a little bit of very mild working out. Like she's 27. How is her body
Yeah.
after these 3 weeks? How long is it total? 3 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. I mean, flipping and spinning, doing all these
Yeah.
different
And you have
things.
to do it multiple times a day.
Like I was
It's
looking,
not like
how
you
the
just do
fuck?
it
I was looking at this Noah Lyles' race. It was at 9 p.m.
Right.
9 p.m.
Like, how do you? Yeah.
It might have even been at 10 p.m. That guy has been waiting all
Yeah.
7 days.
Yeah.
Or he's probably been there for 10 days. And then that day, the entire crew of people that raced,
Yeah.
they're waiting. And you're just sitting there like, imagine
That's
waiting
crazy.
like, how do you sleep?
I know.
I can't even sleep before a flight.
I know.
Like I have an early morning flight. I'm not sleeping at
Yeah.
night.
You're just kind of thinking about it, worrying about it. Yeah.
yeah, like am I gonna make the flight? It's like, am I gonna?
I honestly
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it's
Am I
like
gonna break the
good for
world
Team
record?
USA basketball because they don't play till 7:30,
Yeah.
8 p.m.
Right.
Whatever.
8 p.m.
For them, though,
For them, it's a
different.
joke.
It's not that. No, these
it's an
people, Simone
exhibition.
Biles, Noah Lyles, these guys have been doing this for. These guys can party at fucking Hotel Bristol till 7:30 in the morning.
Right.
Drop 30, and it's not going to make a difference.
I mean, Jordan was playing 36 holes before the games.
no,
in
he was
92.
partying in Monaco, fucking drinking. He was very different beast.
And then playing golf.
Yeah.
And then he would wake up and play, or not even wake up. He just go straight
Yeah,
to
just
golf.
go straight to golf and then go drop 30 in fucking Serbia.
They're just different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Djokovic, that's the other one. Last one.
The tennis,
You see
yeah.
him,
I watched.
No.
I actually watched it.
he started at 5 a.m. I think I woke up at like 6 and I started watching
I
it.
watched the end of it.
Yeah, I hate this timing.
He beat Carlos Alcaraz, and I've seen Djokovic win pretty much every Grand Slam that he's won.
Yeah.
I've never seen him this emotional.
Really?
He was
I
he was
I think
sobbing.
there is just something about the Olympics.
He's just sobbing,
No,
crying.
the Olympics is like
yeah.
the peak.
Yeah.
And like this, I mean, for him, obviously he's one of the 5, I think now, of men and female tennis players that have done all Grand Slams and the gold medal.
Right.
But the fact that he even cares
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah,
Like you're
like he
richer
tried
than
to-
shit.
And you win everything.
Yeah,
You
I
You
won
won
think you
everything.
just
You're the
can't-
GOAT.
Yeah.
And he's crying. He
Yeah.
was shaking. You
Yeah.
can look. You
Yeah.
can look at. There's a post.
Well, because he said this is the only thing that has evaded him.
like there's
Right.
a post of him sobbing, crying, and he was shaking.
You know what else? Last thing, there was a clip that kind of was posted a lot of. There's a golfer named Tom Kim.
Okay.
He's like 22, really good. He's featured on that show Full Swing on Netflix, doing very, very well. But he was crying after his round because he's from South Korea, and if he would have won any medal, and he was like 3 shots off, he would have been exempted from
The
military.
Oh,
my
wow.
God.
And he didn't make it. And so it doesn't mean he will definitely get pulled in, but he's eligible to be pulled into the military. Like, talk about a wild, pressure filled.
Don't the K-pop guys go to military?
I think
Everyone-
so.
he's gotta go.
Yeah. I think that's.
Sorry, brah.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. Everyone have a great week. We have no shout outs, right? Okay, check us out on YouTube, Group Chat Pod.
Good episode.
Yeah, we're back. Everything's happy and friendly today.
There's no controversy.
No controversy. This is America. We're all Americans.
Yeah, we're Team USA, Simone Biles tomorrow morning.
USA. All right, guys. Have a good week.